Hey there. Are you ready? Are you ready for Mental Health Monday? It's Monday. I am feeling good. Are you? I am really feeling good. I feel good a lot, but today I am like complete 10, probably bordering on 11 or 12. So get ready. Where This is Mental Health Monday, and we are going to dive deep into your subconscious brain, go a little deeper than traditional talk therapy so that we can see what's blocking you from getting to the top of your mental health and money game. I am Kene Corder, National Certified Counselor and the world's #1 clinical financial hypnotherapist specializing in therapy in corporate therapy. If you find this video valuable, click like, share it, and subscribe to this channel, whether you're wherever you're watching it, YouTube, LinkedIn, subscribe, follow. Make sure that you get notifications when we post. So if you want to continue this, you can always join our masterclass. Once a month, we do a pop-up masterclass where I allow you to experience Tame Your Brain, and you can see for yourself if it's right for you. If you're a therapist, you might want to learn it so you can teach it to your clients. If you are a client, somebody's searching for therapy, you might find that it's right for you and what you're looking for. What I find is that it's best for people who have tried some healing modalities already, but they're looking for the final healing modality to get them to the top of their mental health and money game. So this week, we are talking about what's blocking you, what's stopping you, what's blocking you. There's something there keeping you from getting to the top of your game. What is it? Do you know? Well, if you've been following us for a while, at least for the last couple weeks, we've been doing these Mental Health Monday videos since January. So if you missed any, you probably want to go back. No, not probably. You absolutely want to go back and watch the rest of them. But lately, in the last couple weeks, we talked about know your vision. So vital, so important. Know yourself. And this week, we say know your pause. So know your vision, know yourself, know your pause, which is the thing that's stopping you, the thing that's blocking you. Do you know what's blocking you? Do you have that insight, that awareness? Do you know what's in the way of you getting to your vision? So you have this vision, but sometimes on that path, on the road, there's something in the way, and it's keeping you from feeling good as you travel through to the top. Because let's face it, it can be a long journey. Now, some people get there really quickly. There's not a lot of overnight success. Society, entertainment industry would have us believe that there's just, oh, I was just traveling on the bus. Somebody tapped me on my shoulder and said, do you want to be famous, a movie star, and rich and all of that? Yeah, I do. Great, follow me. That is not the way it happened. Maybe you were on the bus traveling and that finally came into your existence, but how many auditions did you go to before you were singing on the bus and somebody decided to tap you on the shoulder and say, "I love your voice. Can I represent you?" A lot of a lot of auditions. How many clients did you have to see before that client told you, "Oh, I tell everybody about you," and then next thing you know, you have a waiting list a mile long because just the right person shared about your business. That usually means you have to put some things into action. Now, I will tell you, there are times in my own personal life that in moments I didn't even know how quickly the success was going to come. But sometimes you have something blocking you. So that success can't even come. Can I tell you a little story? So I'm a therapist now, but that's not where I started out. I have been an entrepreneur all my life. When I was about 25 years old, I was a barber and a natural hairstylist, and I was already licensed, but I was assisting somebody because I didn't really want to go off and start my own clientele. But I decided one day, I said, you know what? It's time. It's time for me to go off and start my own clientele. And I had a date in mind. And I said the date to the universe. I said, I think it was like October 26th, if I remember correctly. Now, this was a long time ago. Did I just say a long time? Ignore me. It wasn't that long. It was just a little while ago. So, um, you know what I'm saying? But this was some time ago. But I kind of remember the date was around like the 26th of October. And I said that out loud and I told the universe. And then I had second thoughts. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'll just keep assisting. Well, guess what? The lady that I was assisting for, her daughter was moving back to Chicago and was going to need a job. She was also licensed. And so she was going to be taking that assistant position. So she asked me to go ahead and take a chair in the shop. And I was like, universe, I said I changed my mind. You didn't hear me. The universe was like, nope, I heard that other thing you said. So let's do it. So I did it. I went ahead and start marketing. I had 2 weeks. I started marketing. I got a couple of clients in the door. I think it was like 5 or 6 clients, not that many. But of those 5 or 6 clients, one person got their hair done on a Friday night, went out to, whatever people do on Friday nights and weekends, went out that weekend, met a bunch of people, saw this one particular person who was also a stylist, but she didn't do the work that I did. She loved what I did. She loved my work. And it just so happens that next week, people were calling her saying, hey, do you do this particular style that at the time I was one of the only few people doing it? And so, hey, do you do this thing? And she's like, no, I don't. But I just saw this girl's work and it's really good. Call her. And then next thing you know, I'm getting calls. Vera said, call you. Vera referred me to you. Vera. Vera had liked my work so much that she sent people to me without even meeting me. I call Vera my Oprah. She, the same way that Oprah can tell people she likes something and then everybody just does it. Well, Vera's kind of like that. She's an influencer. And so Vera sent me client after client after client. Next thing you know, within just a few weeks, I have a waiting list. I cannot even see all the people that she is referring to me, plus the people that I am marketing to. So I create this waiting list. And then one day, in the door of the shop, walks Vera. She says, hey, I'm looking for Kanae. And we're all like, and if you don't know anything about the barbershop, you don't just tell who you are. You're like, okay, who are you? And then she's like, I'm Vera. Vera! Oh my God, I was so excited to see her. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy to meet you. But just like that, being in the right place at the right time, clearing any blocks in the way. And I didn't even do a really good job of clearing my blocks. You see what I'm saying? Like I was intentional about what I wanted, but I kind of still had a little fear. Just imagine if it went that well with a little block in the way. Just imagine how well it could have gone if I didn't even have any blocks in the way. So I'm asking you, what's blocking you from meeting your Vera, your Oprah, right? And you don't even have to meet them. You see, you can't plan this stuff. But when you remove your blocks, the universe works in your favor. Like everything just lines up for you. And that's what I'm asking you to do is remove the blocks so the work can be done for you. Your only job is to remove the blocks. That's your only job. Now, I have gotten so into this that I've forgotten to do like really the fundamentals. Let me remind you, this is Mental Health Monday. So if you are having some stress, let's say around building your business, if you have been having some frustration, if you have just been feeling icky. Have you ever felt icky about your business? Like, "Ugh, I'm so tired about this. And it could be your career overall. Now, typically I speak to two people, therapists and company leaders. I typically speak to leaders and therapists. And there comes a time in a therapist's life when you feel like you're empty, depleted. And that could be your block. But let me get really clear that you do have a block. But what I want you to understand is you might not know it. You may not know what your block is. What's getting in the way of you getting to the top of your mental health and money game? What are some of the patterns you continue to repeat over and over and over again. Maybe you get really excited about your business and then you don't. And then you get really excited about your business and then you're not. And then you get really excited about your business and then it's not. Is that you? Or maybe you get an influx of money, clients coming, and then they dry up. Come, dry up. Has that happened? Maybe you're like me. Let me tell you how many times I've started my team over. I have new teams. This was a challenge that I experienced where I would build up a great team and then it would just go away. And then I build up another great team and then it would just go away. You know why? This was my block. You can figure out what yours was. I wasn't allowing or mm, our core value now is to do your own work first. I was hiring people who had not even gone through my program, who, how could they sell the program if they hadn't experienced it? How could they be on the team if they themselves haven't healed? So that was a block I had before, but now I don't have that block. Now the team members that we have stick because they're doing their work. It is a high core value of ours, which we're going to talk about next week. Know your laws. But right now we're talking about know your pause. So I got my little notes right here for you because I want to make sure we do not miss a thing. This is important. So let's get to it. Society has programmed you to believe certain things about money, certain things about yourself, certain things about even having a vision. And those beliefs are your blocks. You can't reach your true desire if you don't believe that it's possible. So, what do you believe? What have you been telling yourself? What are those stories? What have you been saying about what it takes to get to the top of your mental health game, personally and professionally? What have you been saying? Have you been saying that, oh, you have to choose? Have you been saying that you have to do good or make money, but you can't do the same, you can't do both of those at the same time? Is that your story? Is your story that, oh, people don't pay well for therapy, or I have to take insurance in order to have a successful business? Have you been saying that? Now, have you been saying, I can't find a therapist? Now, whether you're a therapist or a client, you might be saying that one. I can't find a therapist. There's not one that's compatible with me. Hmm. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of therapists, and you're telling me that there's not one that you can connect with. And maybe they're not thousands in your area, but maybe it's time for you to go on to the next level of healing. Maybe you have outgrown all the therapists in your area and it's time for you to go past that. That might be a thing. So I want you to think about that because whether you know it or not, your brain or your beliefs that are stored in your brain are in the way of you getting to the top of your mental health and money game. Is that okay with you? Trick question. I know it's not okay. And don't make it okay. It's not okay. You want more. And that is okay. It is okay for you to want more, for you to go about this life getting your true heart's desire. Now, you've probably heard me tell the story where people were telling me it was a fantasy, this life that I live. I live this life right now, but this life that I live right now, people were telling me it's a fantasy. You can't build a successful therapy practice without becoming an LPC. That's what I was told, but I did not become an LPC. As you can see, I am a national certified counselor, national, which means I don't just work with people in my state. I work with people actually globally, which is phenomenal. That is the life that I live. Travel around, move around. I had a virtual business before COVID, but I was told that this was a fantasy. And the only thing standing in the way was me believing them. And I didn't. So I have it. And the only difference between you and I is that you've decided to believe those things. Now, it's not your fault. But just because it's not your fault doesn't mean it's not your responsibility, because it is. It's your responsibility to shed those beliefs, to get past all of that. You can't keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Now, I know you've heard that is the definition of insanity. It's not the definition of insanity. It's the definition of humanity. We all do it, including humans in business. We all do it. We all do the same thing, expecting a result, different result. Uh, Case in point, Kodak. Kodak wanted to continue to do the same thing. And by doing that, they got left behind. Where they used to be the industry leader, they got left behind. I mean, they were so well respected and so innovative. And then they decided, no, we're going to keep doing the same thing, as if that's the way you move forward, because it is not. Moving forward is about evolution, evolving, continuing to be innovative, creating. What are you creating? I know I took that pause because I want you to think about that. I want you to even answer that for yourself. Let me take my notes because I have some more things for you, and I want to make sure I get them all to you. Don't let your brain be in the way, because you can control that. So you might have some. I want to see if I can identify what some of the blocks you might be experiencing. So you might be distracted. You might be distracted by other people's businesses. Oh, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should specialize in that or that or that. Maybe you haven't quite found your specialty. Maybe you're not charging enough. Maybe you're not surrounding yourself with people who have the type of vibration that you want to have. So they're kind of bringing you down, and you're allowing that. I almost curse. You're allowing that. So maybe you're stuck on titles. Maybe those degrees, you just keep taking certification after certification and certification. Oh, I'm certified in this, and I'm certified in that, and I'm certified in this. Now, I'm not opposed to certifications. Tame Your Brain has a certification, but I don't really want you to take Tame Your Brain certification and just to have another couple letters behind your name or another certification. It doesn't serve you, doesn't serve me, doesn't serve the people that we came to serve. You got to get out there. You got to choose one, and you got to dig into it, go deep, and then deliver it to the world. It's just that you might be confused. That could be your might be, like I said, distracted. You might be scared. That could be your block. Give it some thought. What do you think it is? I named a few possibilities, but I really want you to give it some thought, because although and Tame Your Brain Therapy, we believe that insight is not required for healing. You don't have to know all the ins and outs. And I know in talk therapy, that is the thing. Now, you can do that. That can be helpful for some clients, some patients, but you don't have to do that. So I'm saying give it some thought, but if you don't figure it out, that's okay. You can still move your blocks without knowing them, because I want you to focus on how the block makes you feel. When you get distracted, how does that feel? When you aren't charging enough, how does that feel? When you are switching, doing this because everybody else is, how does that feel? Yeah, what is the feeling that you're feeling? And then I want you to think about, what is the feeling that you want to feel? Maybe you want to feel grounded. Maybe you want to feel on the right path, steady. Maybe you want to feel that growth. What is the word that you want to feel? Because know yourself is about knowing your strengths and your true desires. That's what we talked about last week. But know your pause is about knowing your challenges, your outdated beliefs, and your maladaptive habits and patterns. But most importantly, it is about knowing how you feel that you no longer want to feel, and knowing how you want to feel, because that feeling that you don't want to feel anymore is your block. But if you don't have, the only insight I want you to work really hard on having is the insight of knowing how you want to feel. Because if you don't know how you want to feel, that is another block. So know your pause is about the things in the way. So what's in the way? Your brain needs a boost, a shift. It needs to shift from the familiar to the unfamiliar, but your brain doesn't want to shift to the familiar. I mean, the unfamiliar. Your brain wants to stick to the familiar, and rightfully so, because the familiar feels safe, unfamiliar feels unsafe. Well, what if I told you there's more than safety in the unfamiliar? There's that thrive. You can thrive, you can soar from the unfamiliar. You just got to allow yourself to explore it. Oh my God, that rhymed. You should, so you can soar. You just got to allow yourself to explore. That's dope. You should use that. You should tweet that or something. Yeah, but remember to give me credit. Okay, I'm glad we talked about that. I want to see it on your tweet. I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow you. Okay. So, in order to feel safe, you've got to release the old. Just allow yourself to, I'm letting go of that. And you've got to make the unfamiliar familiar. And the way that you do that is two ways, either time and repetition or something like Tame Your Brain Therapy, where we go into your subconscious brain. So surround yourself with people who expand you, because that will make the time and repetition a lot easier. Because if you're around people who are expanding, it's going to force you to expand. What you focus on expands. So if you focus on these people expanding, and I don't mean get around them and hate on them and be jealous of them and envious and all of that. No, celebrate them, emulate them. I'm just rhyming all over the place. So, anyway, enjoy the vibration that you get from them. Get on your sleep. Really, really take control of that. That's a video we did very early in this year, but really take control of your sleep, your nutrition, your physical activity, your stress management. You're healing others. You have a responsibility to take care of yourself. How are you going to heal the world if you yourself are not healed? That's a good question, Kanae. Thank you for asking that, getting me to think about that. And then you need to act as if you have become that person. Because another one of the things that are in the way, the thing that is pausing you, is that you just don't believe it. You're still focused on what's happening right now for you. Oh, I only have 5 clients a week, or I only have a limited amount of funds, or I don't have the right marketing, or whatever is in the way. That's what you're focusing on. But I'm asking you to focus on where you're going, what you're becoming. See it. Going back to know your vision. Did you visualize it? If you haven't, I want you to do that. Super important. Let's get you to the true you. Because this you that complains every day, this you that gets burned out because you take on too much, because you're maybe not charging enough, or you take on too much because you don't have a target market, so you're all over the place, or you take on too much because you are people pleasing, or you take on too much because you think you the know it all, you think you know everything, so you take on too much because you just got to prove yourself. You know that? Yeah, wow, for somebody I just hit something for yeah. So, tell me, what would it take for you to know your vision? What would it take for you to know yourself? But most importantly, right now, today, what would it take for you to know your pause? Some internal work, all the things that I've previously named, really the desire to know your pause. Because we have kind of closed ourselves off to knowing that. Just put our head down and keep going. Doesn't matter. Just keep digging, grin and bear it, and just work hard, right? You've been told if you just work hard. There's some hard working broke people out there. You don't have to be one of them, though. So, what's in the way? Have you asked yourself that? I want you to. What's in the way of you getting to the top of your mental health and money game? so you can excel personally and professionally. I want you to do these next, I call this your field work, and I want you to focus on this field work. So last week I asked you to, kind of ask what what is what are your strengths, right? I told you to ask other people if you needed to. But this week I want you to look to see, compare and contrast how you want to show up versus how you actually are showing up. What is that like? How different are you from the person you really want to be? You need to see that. You need to be aware of that. That is an insight and awareness that is important to have. So as you do that, so get really clear on what's in the way. So if you see yourself, hey, this is the me I am today with my blocks. This is the me that I really want to show up as. And then you look at the path in between those two. So we call this your imposter self and your authentic self. And if you are in our digital membership, you will look for the AIM HIT formula, and that will help you move through. It's right in the front. It's in your Tame Your Brain for 30 days, right at the top part. And we'll show you the AIM HIT formula. If you are not in our digital membership, then I'm going to try to explain it in short, really clear here. Your authentic self versus your imposter self. Your imposter self is you with all your blocks. The authentic self is you all clear. And in the middle there, this measurement, you might see on this path, there are some blocks in the way. Some of the ones I named already, the distractions, not being surrounded by the right people, all of that, the confusion, not having a target market. You can see those blocks. So just write them down and you can start to clear them one at a time. The other block that you're going to see is that feeling, the feeling of jealousy, the feeling of defeat, the feeling of loneliness, whatever that feeling is. Because the authentic self feels peaceful and aligned and grounded and like soaring. Mhm. So that's your field work. And then I want you to come back here next week because I want to hear what you've done. Put it in the comments what's happening in your life as you move. And if you like, you can join me. I invite you. There's a link in the comments that you can use. Just click on that link. It will take you to register for the next free Tame Your Brain Masterclass. And what's going to happen is I'm going to do a little bit of teaching in the beginning, but I'm actually going to allow you to experience a Tame Your Brain session so you can see if it's right for you to using your practice or just have as your healing modality, because you may still have some work to do. And you may want to come an affiliate and refer your own clients to it and make a little extra money. So, or I should say your colleagues to it and make a few extra dollars. Healers, therapists, you have to do your own work. So come on, let me pour into you. Come to the masterclass. Just click the link in the comments, and you and I can really explore what's in the way of you getting to the top of your mental health and money game. Now, the whole month of April, I'm going to be pouring into you. So, because April is Mental Health Awareness Month. Now, if you're listening to this video and it's way after that, just go back and listen to the ones that were published in April. Super simple. Anyways, click the link. And even if you are listening to this and this is already over, April happened, May even might have happened. That's okay. Click the link anyway. I'm sure we'll be doing something for you because it is my goal to pour into you, give you everything you need so that you can heal the world. So I'm so glad we had this time together. You and I are going to do some really amazing things together. I will see you next week. I'll see you on April 2nd in the pop-up masterclass. It's free, so you might as well join. And then I look forward to your comments. And if this video was valuable for you, like it, share it, and subscribe. I'll see you sooner.